In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the information that's on pages Word 12 and 13 out of the textbook that's entitled Format Text Using the Mini Toolbar and the Ribbon. Formatting text is a fast and fun way to spruce up the appearance of a document and highlighting important information. You can easily change the font, color, size, style, and other attributes of text by selecting the text and clicking a command on the Home tab. The mini toolbar, which appears above text when you first select it, also includes commonly used text and paragraph formatting commands. So if we take a look on step 1 on page Word 12, we see that it tells us that we're going to select Quest Specialty Travel on there. That is the title that's up here at the top. So we're going to select the Quest Specialty Travel. You just choose that as any way that you want to. And what you'll notice is that the mini toolbar will appear above the selected text. And this is the mini toolbar right up here. Now, you can click the formatting options on the mini toolbar to apply it to that selected text. And the buttons on the mini toolbar are also available on the ribbon. So these are some of the most commonly used buttons in Word on there. And that's where they put them just in a little toolbar so it's closer down towards your text. Now, if the mini toolbar disappears at any time, you can always right-click the selection to display it again. Step 2 tells us that we're going to click on the Increase Font Size button on the mini toolbar 6 times, and then we're going to click on the Bold button on the mini toolbar. So the Increase Font button, or the font size on there, is this one right here. It has like a big A with an arrow pointing up, and we're going to click on that 6 times. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And notice that you can probably see just directly to the left there that the numbers of the font size was increasing up every time that you clicked on that. And then next we're going to click on this B down here, and this B stands for bold. And so what we've just recently done has been that each time that we clicked on that Grow Font button, the text is enlarged, and when we applied the bold to the text, it made it thicker and darker. Next, on step 3, it tells us that we want to click the center button in the paragraph group on the Home tab. Now, on the mini toolbar, the center button is not here, so we're going to have to go up here to our paragraph group, and notice that when you move your mouse pointer away, the mini toolbar has disappeared. But that's okay for now, because we want to go up here to our paragraph group and click on this button right here, which is the center button, which is going to center the content on the page. And as you see on there, the center alignment gives the document a formal appearance and is often used for cover pages, quotes, and sometimes headings, in which this is a heading, so that's why we're going to use it. When we click on that, now we notice that the text is going to be centered between the left and right margin, so this is right in the middle of the page. Next, on step 4, it tells us that we want to select the 2 and the colon after it. And we're going to click on the B up here, and that's the bold again. So we're going to bold the 2, then we're going to select the from, and we're going to bold it as well. And you can either use the command on the ribbon up here, or when you select it, when we select date, which is the next one, we want to select date, we can bold that as well. So you can see that the mini toolbar is just a quick way of doing some of these tasks. And then finally we're going to select the RE, and we're going to bold it as well. Now the bold is applied to all the memo header labels. On step 5, it tells us that we want to click the blank line between the RE and the body text. So that's right here. So we're just going to click to select this line right here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to click on the bottom border button in the paragraph group. So if we go back up to our paragraph group again, remember once again that a group lies in between these lines here. Those lines separate up the groups, and of course the group name is on the bottom, in which this case there's the paragraph. And right over here, this is the borders button that's on there. Now, in previous versions of Word, this would be the bottom border button. Because if we click on this, notice how it has a line on the bottom of this square, and if we click on it, we notice that a line appears below the line on there. But you can also add other borders by clicking on the arrow just next to it, and you can see there's the bottom border, top, left, right, no borders and such on there as well. And so we'll be taking a look at those in later lessons. Once we have this, we want to go ahead and save our file, so click on the disk to save the file up here. That's the Save button in the Quick Access toolbar. And then the textbook tells us that we're going to print. However, we're not going to print. What we are going to do is we're going to submit this to the Course Sites class for grading on there. So we want to save this, but we do have another document that we're going to complete through the walkthrough here in the next few pages, and you'll be submitting both of those together. So now what we're going to do is, of course, the information related to printing the document will appear on the print screen. So we're going to show you what it would look like if you would print. But you need to remember that we're not going to print this, we're going to submit it electronically. So if we click on the file and then click on print, this is what the print box is looks like. And this is a change from previous versions of Word. And of course we notice that up here, here's our print button. If we would click this, it would print to our default printer, or our printer right here. And we can tell how many copies we need. If you want to switch printers, you can always click on this down pointing arrow and you can select one of the printers that you have installed on your computer. Now there is some of them that are automatically on there, such as maybe a fax or something like that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there is a printer connected to your computer. It just means that a driver has been installed on your computer for that type of device on there. So you need to make sure that you know what kind of printer you have and what kind of brand it is or what its name is. Now we can change some other settings, such as we can either print the whole thing. If you have some information selected, you can just pick what you select. You can print the current page, whatever page you're on, which in this case it's a one-page document, so it would print the whole thing anyway. But if you're on multiple pages, you can choose just the page that you're currently on. Or you can actually customize it where you can type in specific pages, sections, or ranges. And then of course there's some other information about the document on here as well. And you can also see down here you can only print the odd pages or the even pages. So there's some different options that's there. Of course, here's where you can type in your pages. If your printer is a duplex printer, you can actually have it to print on more than one side. We also see here's a collated button, which means that you can organize it to where the document will print off and then it will start again and print again. Or you can have all the page 1s print first, then the page 2s, or so forth on there. And you can take a look, there is the difference between collated and uncollated. Of course, you can also change the orientation here between portrait and landscape. You can change the paper size, the margins, and how many pages you would like per sheet on there. And like I said, we're not going to choose all these, we're not going to select a print. So to get back to our document, we can click on this back button here, and that takes us back to our document. Now on step 7, it tells us that we want to click the zoom in button on the status bar 5 times. And of course that's right down here, and that's this plus sign that is right next to the zoom slider. So if we click on this 5 times, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it tells us that we need to proofread your document for errors. Now the document is enlarged in print preview on there. Of course we can also do this from print preview as well. So if we would go back to the print, we could take a look here, and there's also a zoom here, so we can click in 5 times here as well. So we'll do it from this screen. So we click on the zoom in, and we're going to click on it 5 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on there. And it says if you notice any errors in your document, you will need to correct them before you print. And of course, to do this, you can always press the escape key, or you can click on this back key here if you're in the print preview while you're in backstage view, to correct any mistakes, because here you cannot correct mistakes in the print preview. So we're going to click back. We notice that there's no mistakes in anything else here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and make sure that we save our document, and then we're going to close this down. And to close this down, most people will generally go over to the close button over here, but this is the close and exit button. If I click on this, it's going to close down Word and my document. However, I want to keep Word up but close my document. To do that, I'm going to click on the File button here, which takes me to the Backstage area, and I'm going to go down here to Close. And notice when I click on Close, Word is still up, but my document has been closed down. So that is one way that you can continue using Word, and we can actually start in a brand new document, which is what we're going to be doing on the next video. Just continue looking through the textbook, follow the steps that are on there. If you have any questions, please see the instructor on there, and you are ready to move on to the next video.